Today, we're jumping into the book of 1 Thessalonians. And look, this is not some dusty old letter. You gotta think of it more like a survival guide, a how-to manual for a community trying to live out their faith while they are absolutely under fire.
And that really gets to the heart of it, right? This isn't just some philosophical question. It's the problem that this whole letter is trying to solve. I mean, what does a healthy community actually look like when it feels like the world is against you? How do you survive, let alone thrive?
So, to really get this, we have to understand the backstory. We've got to feel the pressure these new believers were under, because their story is the key that unlocks everything Paul is about to say to them.
Okay, so here's how it all went down. Paul rolls into Thessalonica, a big, wealthy pagan city. He starts preaching, and boom, a brand new church just explodes into existence. But their success, well, it gets noticed. It sparks jealousy, which turns into a full-blown citywide riot. It gets so bad that Paul and his team literally have to be snuck out of the city in the middle of the night. Just try to put yourself in their shoes for a second. The man who introduced you to this life-changing new faith is just gone. Poof! Forced out overnight, and you're left behind to face all this hostility all by yourself. You'd be filled with questions, with fear, and your faith would feel incredibly fragile. That's the world they were living in.
So what does Paul do? I mean, what's his first move? Does he send them a list of things they're doing wrong? A bunch of tough new rules? Nope. His first instinct isn't to correct them, it's to love them. He writes to them like a worried parent who's been separated from his kids.
He kicks off the whole letter with a party. He says, "We always thank God for all of you." He tells them their faith is becoming famous. Before he gets into anything else, he needs them to know one thing. He is so proud of them, and they are deeply, deeply loved. That tone just sets the stage for everything.
Now, back in the city, his critics were spreading rumors, right? Saying Paul was a fake, that he was only in it for the money or for the fame, so Paul has to defend himself. But he doesn't do it with anger. He gets really personal and uses these two incredible family metaphors to explain his heart for them.
And here they are. He gives us a complete picture of what real, authentic leadership looks like. On the one hand, he says he was like a mother among them, so gentle, just caring for them. But he was also like a father, encouraging them, challenging them, urging them to live a life worthy of God. He's showing them he wasn't some distant authority figure, he was family.
Okay, so after pouring out his heart for 3 chapters, Paul makes a little pivot. He gets super practical. This is the now what section. It's like he's saying, okay, you know you're loved, you know you're standing firm, so how are you supposed to actually live this thing out day by day?
And what he gives them is basically a 3-part job description for a life that pleases God. It's so simple, but so profound. Be holy, love deeply, and work hard. Let's dig into what he means by that.
So first, be holy. In a culture that was all about excess, this meant honoring God with their bodies, specifically with sexual purity. That was a radically countercultural idea. Second, love deeply. He tells them, hey, you're already doing this, but I want you to do it more and more. Love was supposed to be the engine that drove their entire community. And third, work hard. He says to live quietly, mind your own business, and work with your hands. Now, in Roman society, manual labor was often looked down on, so this was radical. It wasn't just about making money, it was about living with such integrity that you would win the respect of people on the outside.
But then Paul turns to their biggest, most painful question. This really is the emotional core of the whole letter. It's the one thing that was causing them this deep, gnawing anxiety.
And it's a question that feels so real, doesn't it? What happens to the people we love who die before Jesus returns? Some of the people in their new church had already passed away, and the ones left behind were terrified. Did they miss out? Was all this for nothing?
Paul's answer here is so pastoral, so gentle. He doesn't say, hey, stop grieving. He knows their hearts are broken. He says, do not grieve like people with no hope. He's about to completely reframe their sorrow by giving them a hope that is absolutely unshakable. So Paul just lays out this incredible sequence of events with total confidence. He says, first, the Lord himself will come down from heaven. Then, the believers who have already died will rise first. After that, those of us who are still alive will be caught up together with them in the clouds. And here's the bedrock promise that changes everything. And so we will be with the Lord forever. And you have to see what he says right after this. This huge, cosmic, hope-filled teaching isn't just supposed to be a nice thought you keep to yourself. No. He says, therefore, encourage one another with these words. This truth is meant to be a tool, something you use to actively build each other up every single day.
All right, so let's zoom out. Why are we talking about this ancient letter? Why does it matter to us, right here, right now? Well, because it gives us a timeless blueprint for a faith that can actually withstand pressure.
It really all boils down to these three pillars. A healthy faith is a faith that remembers what happened in the past, the good news of the gospel. It's a faith that works in the present through living a life of holiness and love. And it's a faith that hopes for the future, the certain return of Jesus. See, it connects what we believe with how we live and why we wait.
Ultimately, 1 Thessalonians is just this powerful reminder that the Christian life is lived in this in-between time. We're living between the finished work of the cross in the past and the absolute certainty of Christ's return in the future. And in that space, we're called to live with purpose, with integrity, and with this relentless, stubborn hope.
And the very last word Paul leaves them with isn't another command, it's a promise. It's a reminder that the pressure isn't all on us. The one who called you to this life, the one who started this whole thing, he is faithful, and you can count on him to finish what he started. That's a promise worth holding on to.